Hello, all. Welcome to another episode of AWS Show Tell. I'm Anil Nadiminti, your host, joining today from New Jersey. And joining along with us is Alana. If you want to introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Lana Zhang. I'm a senior solutions architect from AWS Bedrock Specialist team focused on Nova Sonic. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Lana. So we also have like a couple of colleagues uh, awaiting us. We are going to do a talk about voice ordering, and conversational AI. Right. So today in this stream, we're going to focus on foundation models for conversational AI that are available from AWS, and we have amazing demos lined up that our colleagues will show you here. And before we get into the details of that, just let us know where you're joining from and if you have used foundation models that enable speech to speech communication, right? So this is the topic for today. And in a little bit of time, when we see the demo, we're going to have uh, uh, demos that will show, our other colleagues who are also going to join us. We're going to show voice ordering chatbots that are going to be, very lively, right? So with that said, let's get into the content, Lana. So, what is Nova Sonic, right? Let's start there and help our audience explain more details about Nova Sonic.
Yeah, absolutely. My pleasure. Nova Sonic is a foundation model developed by Amazon. Like we have an AGI team. It's a voice. It's a voice model like offers speech to speech over a bidirectional streaming interface. So it supports a voice AI chat. So it's like you make a phone call or you open an app, and then you can chat with the AI model using voice interface. It's quite fun to experimenting.
Yeah, we're all used to chatting with the chatbots. I mean, the AI bots, and sending text messages. But now this is a direct speech to speech model, right? So essentially, we are talking to the AI models, and then we're getting response. Now, these foundation models, do they have reasoning capabilities, Lana?
Yeah, absolutely. So what featured by Nova Sonic is the high accuracy of the ASR, which is the speech to text. It's capable to understand what you're saying in real time, and also the voice generation. It generates super native voice, mimicking human, and also the flexible reasoning model allowing you to inject your business logic, right? So instead of just like you chat with a chatbot, text chatbot, instead of the model based on its own knowledge answer your question, you can integrate the two use. So the model help you to bring your own information back to the user.
So we can speak with the models. We can also get reasoning capabilities and tool use. So this is great. Now, all of these will happen when we do chatting. We know it's text can go back and forth, but do we see latencies, or is this real time with the conversational chatbots here?
Yeah, absolutely. That's another highlight we like to feature for Nova Sonic is a low latency. Like later, uh, in later of the session, you will see a really cool demo presented by the team, and then the latency response time is very short. So it's really mimicking a real human-like conversation.
That's great. So because Lana has in the past presented in the AWS Show and Tell, we chatted about Nova Sonic when it was launched, and now we have her here again with the rest of the crew who are waiting to present the demo. So between the last time we presented Lana and now, there are some changes with the models. All right, so some features, some new features, some capabilities that got added. Can you speak about that?
Absolutely. So there will be more upcoming feature announced by reInvent. We're around the
Of
corner
course.
to announce them.
Yeah.
For now, we can share more use case, right? So how customer using Nova Sonic, and then what are the popular patterns and the trend that we saw. And then stay tuned. You will see a really fun demo presented by the team. So one thing, trending pattern to use Nova Sonic is multi-agent architecture, right? So because you can talk with the voice model, having fun, but without really integrating with your own system, it's just a toy. So which means the two use and multi-agents is a very popular pattern in production to integrate with Nova Sonic. So on the screen, it's a blog post. We just try to share a popular conversation pattern. So this is mimicking our solution like a contact center of financial services. Like a user, you call into a 800 number, and then usually there's a process the AI agent will guide you through. It will first gather your identity information for authentication. For example, what's your account number, right? And then what's your password, what's your date of birth. It does authentication, which is the first part of the logic, and then followed by the other inquiries. For example, once it's authorized, you are a valid account customer, and then it may, based on your question, it navigate you to different specialists. For example, if you're asking what is my account balance, that's a banking inquiry. So it will delegate you to the bank sub-agent. And you may ask mortgage-related information, such as what is my refinance limits, right? And in that case, it should navigate you to the mortgage agents. So this is a common pattern we see enterprise customer used for their enterprise, for their call center, contact center solution, utilizing a sub-agent, like multi-agents architecture. And also we try to showcase how you can integrate Sonic with Amazon Bedrock Agent Core, right? So having the sub-agent hosted on Agent Core for more flexibility and more scalability.
Yeah, so we're discussing about ability to integrate MCPs, right? So Novasonic can do the tool use. It can invoke MCPs. It can also invoke multi-agent using Agent Core, which means you now can bring your code and make that fully scalable. You don't have to provision any infrastructure for that. It's fully managed environment where Agent Core will take care of setting up your agentic frameworks, and Novasonic can then integrate seamlessly and be able to invoke the agents. Maybe it's let's say be one or many agents, and be able to answer the questions here, right? So in this example, that Lana is showing us, we have an authentication agent and banking agent, mortgage agent. So Lana, so all of this, when it happens, you mentioned that this is all real time. So there is the reasoning capability within the Novasonic, the one that's actually running the agentic loop and being able to uh, pick which agent performs the action.
Yeah. That's the reasoning model within Novasonic. In this case, it does a high-level orchestration, right? It's manage the workflow. Make sure you do authentication first before you proceeding to the rest of the inquiry, and also it help you do the intent classification, right? Which is a common term in contact center. It's
Mhm.
like based on the question comes in, the reasoning model within Novasonic will determine like which sub-agent it should dispatching to.
Excellent. Yeah, this is great. So now, what next here, right? So do we have this? Maybe we should see something in action. So what do you say?
Right. Yeah. So we have some sample code published on GitHub, and also as part of our Novasonic workshop, you can refer to. And also, if for enterprise customer, we are willing to help you to guide you through the best practice.
Cool. Yeah. So I'm going to put the link to the blog post here in the chat for folks to access. And with that said, we also have our friends who are waiting to present a demo. If let's get our colleagues here, Lana. So that's it from here from Lana. But she'll be in the background for you to answer any questions. We're going to get the rest of our folks to be able to present live demo here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Salman. Hey,
Hey,
hello, Ravi, and hi, Sergio. How are you?
good.
Doing
Hey,
good.
yeah, let's go through some introductions here. I know we are doing intro in the part two here, but the part two is the more exciting part where you'll see the voice ordering. And Salman, Ravi, and Sergio, they crafted this blog, and we'll share the link to the blog. But before we go into too much details here, let me uh, allow them to introduce themselves. Salman.
Sure, thanks, Anil. My name is Salman Ahmed. I am based in Dallas. I've been with AWS for almost 10 years. I'm a senior technical account manager. I work with enterprise customers.
10 years is a long time, Salman.
Almost
Congratulations.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, let's go to Sergio. Sergio.
Hey, thanks for having me here. My name is Sergio. I'm a senior technical account manager as well. I work with retail and with restaurant customers, those enterprise support customers as well. So yeah, basically I've been in AWS for over 7 years as well. And yeah, happy to be here today.
All right, folks. Yeah, so we have Sergio, who's 7 years, and Salman 10 years. So ask any questions about the tenure and what comes with that, right? So I also got a chance to meet with Sergio earlier, and we had all the dumps in the back that were visible to us. But now the background is a little bit dark. But Sergio, can you speak about those drums over there?
Oh, well, I'm a musician, but I'm a musician because of my family. So I've been playing all kind of instruments my whole life, like drums, bass, guitar, piano, and all those kind of instruments. So it is like my distraction when I'm not coding or building things or attending customer. I just turn around and just play some drums and play the guitar, and I continue doing my job.
You have all the fun in that same place, right? So
in the
I
same
heard
place.
about
This
like
is
what at least 4 instruments is what I heard there.
This is the area where I spend most time of the day. So
Yeah.
it needs to be fun, right?
Excellent.
So work hard, have fun, make history. So that's
There
it.
you go. Yeah. Wow. That's excellent. So amazing, Sergio. Thanks for that intro there. Ravi?
Hey everyone, thanks Anil for having us here. I'm Ravi Kumar. I am also a senior technical account manager here at AWS. Around 3.5 years with AWS, overall 20 years of IT industry experience, and I support travel and hospitality customers. And other than like in my free time, I like to paint. You can see at the back, and I love to play cricket. And happy to be here presenting today.
I didn't realize that those were your paintings, Ravi.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's excellent. Wow.
We have an artist.
We have a musician, we have an artist, and yeah, so a lot going on today, folks. Well, yeah. With that said, Salman, Ravi, and Sergio, they crafted. I'm here excited to actually let Salman walk us through the part of the blog and essentially allow him to share what we are going to present today, right? So, Salman, what's happening here in this
Sure.
demo?
This is gonna be a quick demo here to show what we have built. So this is an AI drive-through. So how Novasonic will interact with me to take the order. So I'm gonna start the demo and then kind of pause it in certain sections to kind of go over what's happening.
Excellent.
Hello there. Welcome to our drive-thru. Are you a member of our loyalty program?
Yes, my phone number is 469-123-4567.
Thank you, John. It looks like you're a member with 150 points.
Can you show me the burgers you have?
Here are the burgers we.
So so far in the demo, as you see, I was shown as a loyalty customer. I give my phone number. Novasonic is quickly able to look up the access it has to our loyalty system that we have built. We'll dive a little bit deeper as we go along, and kind of interact with me in a more personal note. And then, as you see, the menu changes from all items to just specifically burgers that I asked for it. So it's kind of a dynamic interaction that the user is having, all controlled by Novasonic.
So one thing that I noticed is when the demo was playing, when the audio was going through, and the question was asked, Novasonic is able to take that interruption, right? So the barging in capabilities, yeah, and let the user speak. So in traditional days, when we have all these conversational bots, we had to wait for the whole message to come and then ask the question, right? So Novasonic has these excellent barging capabilities, and maybe we'll talk through some of that as well as we present more of this demo.
Yeah, great point. If a user in a drive-thru is seeing and reading at the same time, if they're able to like read all the things that the assistant's putting out, yeah, you can interrupt it like I was doing, and I'm going to continuously do that as I progress. So let's.
Yeah, I can never finalize my order, right? So I cannot, without interrupting the person on the other side, I can never finalize my orders.
Yeah.
I guess that goes with everyone.
Yeah. So let's continue here.
We have 1 cheeseburger.
Can I get the classic burger?
Got it.
So you see, it actually highlights the menu item, the cheeseburger is highlighted, and it puts it in the cart as I continue.
I've added a classic burger to your cart.
How about fries? Can you show me those?
Here are the fries we have. 1.
Can I get the cheese fries, please?
Got it. I've added cheese fries to your cart. Let's review your order.
How about drinks? Can you show me those?
Here are the drinks we
Can
have.
I get one lemonade? Can you add extra ice in the lemonade?
Extra ice has been added to your lemonade.
That's all I want for today. Thanks. So I'm going to pause one more time here. So as you can see, I navigate through the menu. There are customizations we have built into the ordering platform that you can integrate. So Novasonic understands the customizations that are offered in the menu.
So it's excellent to see that when you're speaking, a few things are happening. Number one is you're able to interrupt, you're able to barge in, you're able to ask questions, but it's also highlighting the portions in the menu and navigating to that portion in the page. So everything is happening, almost like how we do this, right? So I don't see the latency here as I ask these questions, as you ask these questions. We know that we are playing this recorded portion of it, but Sergio and Ravi are going to go into the details of the architecture and show us more of what's happening behind the scenes, right? So let's continue here. So,
Your order is as follows: a classic burger, cheese fries, and lemonade with extra ice. The total is 30.
Yes, thank you.
Your order has been submitted and is on its way to the kitchen. Thank you for your order. Please move to the next window for payment.
Okay. So let me pause that there. So what happens with the demo, or if you use the solution, is it resets for the customer in line, right? So it clears the screen and reloads the menu as you would have another drive-through customer approach the menu board. So I'll hand it over to Sergio and Ravi. Ravi will go over the architecture, like Anil was mentioning, all the behind the scenes, and how we built this solution.
excellent, thanks. Yeah.
Sergio, you can bring up the picture. Yes.
Yes.
Cool. So yeah, let's talk about the voice architecture here. And this is all serverless. We deliberately designed this. It has a front end, it has a back end. This is the entire architecture of a drive-through with Novasonic. So the major components here is the front end application. It is hosted and deployed on Amplify. So when you see a drive-through, there is a device where you see the menu. So the application is loaded on the device from Amplify, and then the authentication, the first time authentication of the store manager or the store happens at the first time through Cognito. So the temporary tokens are shared, and once authenticated, the temporary tokens are shared, and the menu gets loaded to the front end. Here you can see the link as well. So the menu gets loaded. Certain tools run on the front end, and then the bidirectional communication between the browser and the Novasonic. So one thing I want to bring it here is the browser is directly talking to Novasonic. It is not going to any Bedrock or anything. It is directly talking, and Sergio going to talk more about that. And once the bidirectional communication is set, the tools are loaded. User or the drive-through customer is ready to place the order. So the way Salman showed the demo, the request from the customer, the front end, you see there are three portions in that. One is the menu, and we call it as a contextual menu. We worked a lot on that concept of contextual menu, because when I'm on a drive-through, I might don't want to go through the entire order, and I just want to order the burgers, right? So when you say burger, the context of the menu changes with the context. So I can look up burgers, I can look up lemonade or fries or anything.
That's an interesting concept, right? Because that's exactly what happens when we want to really focus and ask those questions. So being able to show what is more relevant to that context is maybe I think if you can dive into the details of that implementation also in this session, I think.
Yeah. I think many have been in that situation where you approach a menu board and you don't know where to look. Like, I want a burger. What are the burgers? So
Yeah.
it's all over the place, and you finally maybe find that section, but there are more options or things in that section. So this is why we call it the contextual menu board, because the UI remains in context depending on what you're talking with Novasonic.
Yeah, and it also helps new customers for a specific restaurant, right? Sometimes you don't know the menu, right? So it kind of lets you explore it. Because if you go through our typical quick service restaurant customers, sometimes customers have the number memorized. Like, I want number 5. They already know what that is.
Yep.
So they don't even look. But there are going to be customers that don't understand the menu as quickly and can kind of pinpoint them in the right direction.
That happened to me yesterday when I was at a drive-thru. I'll be honest here. I was asking, and the folks didn't know where the item was, so they were trying to tell me, but they couldn't find it in time, and I'm like, that's fine. I'm going to skip the item, right? So I think that's important for the conversions to happen, to be able to show what is most important and contextual. So all of the code that's being, all the demo that's being presented, the architecture is all part of the blog. The link to the blog is actually shared here. And I'll be putting them in the chat while Ravi is walking through the architecture.
Yeah, well, we made available the blog post, GitHub with the source code and a workshop if you are more hands-on. So if you like to go step by step and click everywhere in the console, so we have a workshop for that.
Yep, I'll be putting that link in the chat.
There are two ways you can deploy. One is we have provided the CloudFormation template. You want to deploy it, say, in 15-20 minutes, you can do that, play around with the solution. And if you want to learn more about the services, the API gateway, DynamoDB and everything, there is a detailed workshop we have published. You can go through that and learn more. And if you can go back to the, once you place the order, the request goes from the API gateway to the DynamoDB. The backend is DynamoDB, where we have tables for different purpose. Menu table is there, loyalty, cart, order, and chat. All these tables get automatically updated once you place the order. And you might have seen, once the order is finalized, published, there is an order ID generated. So that is the primary key for all these DynamoDB tables. We also used one more good concept is we used Nova Canvas for the demo purpose. We don't want the images to get from internet or anywhere else. What we did is we provided a JSON file with all the menu, and we used Nova Canvas. So all the images you saw is from Nova Canvas. It's automatically generated on the fly when you deploy the solution. So yeah, this is the entire solution, and Sergio will talk more about Novasonic, the capabilities of Novasonic.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there is nothing else or beyond what we already listened about Novasonic. I just wanted to illustrate here what's going on when you approach the drive-thru, or at least this solution, because this solution can be implemented on a drive-thru, on a menu board inside the store. even on the table when you want to order and maybe not waiting for the server. Those are kind of the use cases we have been exploring with many customers. So yeah, definitely those are the many options, but the flow will be the same. Like we're gonna have Novasonic listening to your guests, then doing real-time transcription. It's gonna execute tools, and it's gonna respond back in the form of text and speech at the same time. So that is how it's happening right now. So basically, here we call it one of the challenge we had when we were implementing this, because we were needing real time speech recognition. Everyone will come when we approach a drive-through or a situation like that, like ordering food with different accents. So having different accents is pretty complex, and it's a really complex situation. I'm Hispanic, so I have a different accent, and sometimes I'm not being understood in the drive-through or while placing an order by phone. So I don't know if anyone else has have been in the same situation, but at least myself, when I arrived here, the first time I got a lot of challenges ordering food because of my accent. The other things that we can talk about is the tool use, right? But I wanted to deep dive into one of the things that it created, or it made this solution special. Let's say, let's call it special, because as long as you're talking, then the UI is switching. You let the Novasonic, in this case AI, to manipulate the UI for you. You're not instructing commands. You don't need to say a specific command. You're just talking, like naturally speaking, and the UI is changing according to the conversation. So the way that it's happening, it's because we are using the AWS SDK right in the application. So when we create a connection to Novasonic, which is a WebSocket connection to the service, we are presenting all the tools to Novasonic, but as well, we are presenting the UI as a tool. So the UI becomes a tool for Novasonic, and Novasonic will be in charge of using those tools when the time comes. And how that happens is because when you are talking about burgers, for example, here in this diagram, you're talking about burgers. Then what's going to happen is that Novasonic will have that in context, and it will show categories burgers, because for the AI makes sense to show the burgers as you're talking about burgers. It's not that you need to say, hey, show me the burgers, but you can say, I'm looking for, I don't know, I'm looking for sandwiches or things like that. And Novasonic will understand that, hey, I don't have sandwiches, but I may have burgers. So it will do kind of the association, and it will show burgers. So when that happens, it will call your backend services, and then the backend service will return all the burgers available. It's going to present those in the UI, and then Novasonic will show the category, and that is how the UI gets dynamic. It's
That's
not
very
only
creative, right? So being able to present the UI as a tool to the LLM, and allowing the LLM to pick the tool and be able to present it.
Oh yeah, well that was one of the things that it was a challenge. I mean, it was a good challenge, because when we discuss about this, using the Novasonic as a person manipulating a UI, it was out of our mind. So how we are gonna be doing this?
Yeah.
But then research after research and experiments after experiments, we made it. So yeah, this is why we made it possible, and in this application, basically.
Very creative.
So I'm gonna turn over my demo, because we already saw the demo, and we know how the user experience goes with the voice, and with placing an order. But how, as an IT, as a DevOps, as a geek, let's say, how can I implement this? What are the tools I have available to configure or something like that? So basically, we created a studio within the same application. When you deploy it and you follow the steps, you're gonna get here, right? So you're gonna get here, and you're gonna have a settings. And within the settings, what you're gonna have is like how you configure Cognito, what Ravi was explaining. So you can have an authenticated service. Then you go into the agent section, and you will find out that you're gonna have a way to configure the prompt. You want to instruct how you want your agent to behave. So that way you can configure a prompt. Here we created a sample prompt, and I'm going to show you at the very end that we have a few templates, because this can be templatized. But you provide instructions. You can have a way to pre-record a hello, so that way the Novasonic currently, because of the implementation of Novasonic right now, you need to say hello or say something to get a response back from Novasonic. So this is a workaround basically to make Novasonic immediately talk to you. So this is why we created this kind of section. But then you have the ability to create endpoints, and those endpoints, I mean, you can configure endpoints, and those endpoints are going to be your backend services. So it could be your backend services for loyalty, maybe a third party. Imagine that you're a restaurant, and most likely you're going to have third party managing some pieces of your business. So most likely you're gonna need to pull loyalty information from a third party API. Then you're gonna need to pull the menu probably from the menu store or from your menu API. So you can configure that from here. We created all these sample backend because we know what restaurants usually have in their backend. But most likely a restaurant implementing something like this will point to different sources. So this is what we have here.
Yeah, we saw that you also had the checkout service, right? So maybe the checkout service can be one of those, again, links to another service that's out there.
And these are parameters, and parameters can be named the name you want. These are parameters that you define in your application, and those are going to be available for what is coming next, which is the tooling. So you want to provide tools to Novasonic for to execute different kind of tasks. For example, to get the customer loyalty info, as we saw in the demo, you can instruct what this tool is about. You need to provide some information, some context to Novasonic about what this tool is doing or what this tool is capable of. Then you provide a structure, which is, hey, I need this information in this structure. So basically, you are defining that. What is required and what is the data type that I need to collect this information. And Novasonic will understand and will execute this tool with those parameters. We'll try to capture at least. And then you can define it here in plain JavaScript. You can write JavaScript to connect to your backend services or to create your own custom logic. So that way you can manipulate also the UI if you want to, or you can just collect data from your backend services. In this case, we are connecting to the backend service, which is the loyalty API. And that way it is pulling that information out using the phone number that was collected by Novasonic. So when Novasonic invoke this tool, it will collect the loyalty information, it will get it again, and it will say something about it.
But just wanted to add, so the sample customer I used in the demo, when I gave the phone number, it's already been pre-populated in the solution as a demo, right? Mm-hmm. So in the DynamoDB table, there is a sample customer there. That's how Novasonic is able to use this tool, then use the DynamoDB table to look that up. Just want to make sure.
And yeah, there are two types of customers, right? One is repeat customer, one is the new customer. So for the new customer, it can also add that back to the backend database. for a new customer, and for existing customer, it can pull up the information.
Right. So just to summarize what this studio is doing, from here you can configure how your agent is going to behave, what are the tools that are going to be available for your agent, right, and how those are going to be manipulating the UI. Basically, for example, here, show category items. This is a manipulation of the UI. So I'm passing this tool to the agent. Hey, it's yours. Use it whenever you want, basically, but following the instructions that I'm putting here in the prompt, right? So we are driving the AI Novasonic behavior in certain way.
Yeah, do you mind, Sajay, pulling the architecture diagram back again, so that as we discuss this, it's good to zoom out for a second and see what's happening here, right? So that we can refocus again. So maybe let's quickly, you've shown a lot through that settings page. Maybe just if you want to cover, few of those API gateway, DynamoDB endpoints,
Right.
and other.
So I'm gonna be switching in between, so I can show that, right? Let's focus on the loyalty table, for example. We have loyalty. We have some sample records in the DynamoDB table based on what Salman showed in the demo, with associated with the phone number, right? So we have loyalty data. That loyalty data, it's being passed to the front via API gateway. But it's not the front directly consuming that. It is the tool that is defined in the front, which is the one that is defined here, right? So it's the one defined here. And this tool, it's being executed by Novasonic. When it's being executed, so that is going to be based on the prompt. If I'm prompting the Novasonic, hey, I need for you to collect the loyalty information from the guest, right? I may be able to ignore this and remove it, but if your customer asks, hey, I'm a loyalty customer, then Novasonic will understand that, hey, I need to then collect this phone number because it is required to execute the tool to get the customer loyalty information. So when it's doing that, executing that tool, it is basically doing an API call from the front, right? Collecting the loyalty information from the table, bringing it back, and then this is being retrieved by Novasonic. And
Right.
then it is planning for the next thing to do, right?
One thing to
That's
add
the
there,
chain of thought.
one thing to add there is which Sergio touched upon, when we create tools. That's why the description of the tool is very important, because Novasonic understands what a tool do from the description. So you don't have to specifically mention that get loyalty info is to bring, like you don't have to mention it in the prompt. But the description, Novasonic understands, okay, if loyalty information is asked or a customer is asking phone number, it can automatically identify which tool to call and bring the information for them.
That's an important point, Ravi, that you brought up, because when you see the screen, there are so many tools there. So the agent needs to know what are these tools, and what are the capabilities that are out there.
Right. So this is when you present tools to Novasonic, there is a structure that is defined how to present tools to Novasonic. So this is the structure, or at least the information you need to pass to Novasonic in order for Novasonic to understand what this tool is about. You need to provide a tool name, and you need to provide a description. So with the description, then Novasonic will keep that in context in case the tool needs to be executed. So that is how Novasonic understand how and when to use this tool.
That's great. Yeah.
And when after we developed this solution, we thought that, hey, this can be customized to many other customers. So this was an idea, from someone in Ravi as well, that, hey, but we can make templates and we can provide
Across industry,
more options.
Yeah.
right? So
Right.
let me see
So
here.
this
Yeah.
this example is a drive-through example, right? So again, Novasonic can be used. This particular template can be used for other areas as well, right? So is that what you're telling us?
Yes.
Yes.
So
You can, you can
one
actually
of
switch
the
industries. You can switch industries. So this is for drive-through. We created a similar solution for hotel in-room service. So when you are in a hotel, right, and you want to look at the amenities in the hotel, you want to order lunch, breakfast, or whatever. So we quickly switch this one with the menu that is specific to hotels industry, and you can like either play it on a TV or on a mobile app again, and then use it as a like completely switching to a different industry. And we have couple of samples which you can load while testing this, which Sergio was showing.
yeah.
So yeah,
So here you will find that when you first load the application, then you can start from scratch, like doing manually loading everything, or you can use one of the samples we have. So let's say you want to use the drive-through experience. You can use a hotel service concierge. You can do a coffee shop. You can do a pizza delivery ordering. So you have templates. And when I'm saying templates, is because when you load one of these experience, let's say I want to load the hotel, and you can export these settings, and you can create your own. Like if you want to customize the prompt, if you want to customize the endpoints and everything. So the main objective of this application is for those contexts or those situations where the user interface, it is presented just as an interface and not a keyboard or a web browsing. It is a device that is being configured by the customer, by our customers, like in this case hotels or restaurants, right? There is no this was not meant to be for I don't know, web application, right? Because of the way that it's designed, but it is meant to be for a POS, for a drive-through menu board, for those kind of situations where the human interaction with the device, it is only by voice. There is no keyboard, mouse, or whatsoever. It's just that.
It's good to see a lot of options and being able to create a template and export it as well, right? So being able to make this very reusable.
Yeah. So the way that we thought about template is like, okay, you may want to configure this device, but then if you have multiple devices, like multiple mini boards and multiple POS devices, you may want to configure them quickly. So the way that we thought about this is like, okay, you can export the JSON file and then just load it and load it and load it in every device you want to enable. And with a single click, then you can get the app up and running.
So one comment here is what we are seeing in this demo is the Novasonic talking to the tools, and possibly MCPs, right? So being able to look at that architecture there. But as we discuss this, we also have Agent Core that Lana mentioned in the beginning, right? So where I'm going to put a link to the deep dive series for Agent Core, where you can then integrate Novasonic with agent code to be able to persist and maybe think of this as memory, right? So today the person who's going through the drive through has asked for this item, so maybe next time he comes up, maybe integrate agent core into the architecture, and that can remember what was the latest or the last item that they asked, because more often people go back and order the same items in the menu, right? So I'm just putting a link to the deep dive series, which will allow you to look at more content on agent core, and then bring both of them together, as in the initial blog that was shared in the earlier part of the chat.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be a good combination. I mean, it may simplify things if we combine those two services together.
Mhm.
Uh, and the main objective by doing this, and I'm going to show you here in the console. But the main objective of building this solution or this application this way was, one, achieving simplicity, which
Mhm.
is a term that was brought in reInvent 2024 by Bernard Vogels. When something super complex, you make it simple. So basically, that's what we are trying to achieve here: simplicity. And then another thing we are trying to achieve here is that low latency, because when you are in those scenarios, then I know waiting for half a second, 1 second, it's fine, but adding more components also need to evaluate the latency that each component will add. So we were super focused on latency, and Salman was rising the bar on trying to achieve latency and some other internal folks as well. So yeah, I need to be honest on that. We were trying to achieve simplicity, low latency in this solution. Yeah.
And one
Yeah.
more thing I want to add is Sergio touched upon it. It's not like you are running it on one store or two stores. There can be 100 stores, right? So scalability is another option. That's why we used mostly all of them as the serverless solution. We whenever we develop a solution, our first approach is to go serverless. That's what we want for our customers as well. So that's why we chose that approach. So now if you have like say 100 stores, and you can pick up any QSR restaurants, they have multiple stores, right? So scalability is another criteria which we thought of when we start building the solution.
Excellent. So let's go back to the architecture, Sergi. So let me bring this up. The AWS console that you were showing, right? So let's go there.
Yes. So yeah, let me show you in what Ravi was explaining, because we don't want to generate bottlenecks, or we want to make easy for customers to manage their infrastructure, right? And relying on serverless, that's one of the North Stars we had. So by using Amplify with a front end that is being a client side render, then it means that you're using the compute of the device that is loading the application to run this application. You're just using Amplify to make it available for that device, right? So once that the application is loaded in the device, then it works from there with the backend services. But this is one of the main component. For us, it's super simple. We create this is a React application. You create the distribution files, and then you can upload it here, which is the fastest way to deploy this, or you can connect Amplify to your own repo, and it will pull the React application. It will create the distribution files, and it will do the same, like present the application from Amplify. So this is what we are using for to make the application available to the devices, basically.
So I've shared the link to the front end code in the chat there, and that's the code. Salman, you referred to that code as the front end code for the GitHub, right? So that
Yeah.
can.
So when we were working on this solution and writing the blog, so there's two GitHubs. The blog itself will take you to the GitHub for the solution, so the CloudFormation templates that you can deploy. So the infrastructure and the front end, the back end, like there's two things you would have to do. Is once you deploy that, then you can quickly use the solution. But then if you wanna customize the front end even further, at the bottom of the page we have the GitHub link to the the front end application that Sergio was showcasing.
Thanks.
That's right. So from here, yeah, you can use this source code. You can fork it. Contributions are welcome as well. So if you have new features, then yeah, pull requests are welcome. And basically here we have the application with all the instructions on how to configure. And yeah, it's pretty a few commands to get it up and running.
And we are also going to have if you are coming to reInvent, do come to our session. We will be presenting this as a chalk talk session, so discussing about the architecture and more details about it. So you're welcome to attend that session as well.
So yeah, so then this is going to be a reInvent. So can't wait for this to be presented. And with that, Sergio, Ravi, and Salman. So, any closing thoughts on this? This architecture, Novasonic. As you built this and brought in that creative idea to bring, to create the front end as a tool, right? So many things happened here. Any closing comments?
Yeah, I mean, we worked from our customers that we work with and try to kind of use Novasonic in an actual use case where you can see customers are trying to solve with voice AI. Latency was a big thing that Sergio mentioned because you can ruin the customer experience with very, very small latency, right? And how to deal with that. Direct integration from the browser to Novasonic was the key thing before customers would deploy a server, and it would go through a server, which would add additional latency. So, and then as we progressed, we kind of had these ideas of building these sample APIs. Then we ended up building, Sergio spent a lot of time building this nice front end. Then we kind of also thought that we can leverage this with other industries. So small idea became very big. It took us almost over 6 months, I think. And I want to call out some other team members that are not on this live stream that participated. Ankush and Leland, as you'll see on the blog post. We all worked together, many hours in the day to build this. So.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. So I guess I'm waiting for folks to be able to go through the blogs, the sample code that was shared, the GitHub links that are available. We've also shared links to other speech-to-speech samples from GitHub that are part of the Novasonic samples repository. So there are a bunch of use cases that you can definitely play with, and look at the deep dive links as well for Agent Core, so that you can get familiar and expand on what the team here has created to build your own voice ordering chatbot service. Right. So with that said, that's it from our side here. Thanks a lot for joining the live stream today. That's it from our side.
Thanks, Anil. Thanks for the invitation. Thanks.
Thanks. Yeah.
Everyone.
Welcome.